I see way too many people doing self-massage techniques all wrong. And so in this video, I'm gonna show you how you can use this little lacrosse ball instead of, your typical foam roller to start ironing out all these little kinks in your body that are leading you to these recurring pains, tightnesses, and injuries that are ultimately holding you back from being the most athletic, fluidly moving version of yourself. And I'm going to show you my perspective as not only an elite high jumper, but also a coach who's helped hundreds of people transform their bodies from being chronically in pain, being chronically injured, to being able to be the most athletic version of themselves and maximizing their genetic potential. I'm going to show you about myofascial release, the act of releasing the fascia through that lens. So first off, if you don't know what fascia is, it's essentially this thin connective tissue that encases all of our muscles, our organs, blood vessels, nerves. It essentially acts similar to the white web that you see around an orange once you peel that initial layer off of it, essentially holding everything together. And the fascia is responsible for the elastic qualities of the body that you'll see in athletic activities such as throwing, jumping, running. All those activities are fueled and made possible in the elastic way that they're done by your fascia. Now, the thing is that through chronic injuries, injuries in general, acute injuries, and these different postural issues maybe we'll have throughout the day, sitting a ton, just hunching over your desk all day, the fascia will start to have these kinks in it, just like kinks in a hose. And essentially, with myofascial release, that we will do with this lacrosse ball, I'll show you in a few seconds here, you're going to be able to iron out those kinks so that your body, the fascia first off, can glide and move smoothly and fluidly as it should, and thus act in the elastic way that it's meant to be, and thus preventing injuries and allowing you to step into your true athletic potential. So we're gonna come over here. I'm going to start to explain these different points that not only I use, but I have my clients using in my Mind Your Movement program. This is something that I show all of them. So I'm going to be sharing all of these things that I showed to my actual clients in this video today. I'm going to show you the exact points that I will target with myofascial release. For myself, a lot of my pain in these tender points has diminished over time because I've been at this for years. So you're gonna see the same thing as you go through the same process. You roll every single day with the techniques that I'm gonna show you, and you're gonna be able to start feeling like that pain is diminishing, those kinks are being ironed out. And more importantly, you have to learn how to move and function through your body for this to really have long lasting effects. Because the issue is, if we just roll out and then we go back to moving habitually with the same patterns that we typically did, the same inefficient patterns, and we don't ever address them, then you're just going to get those same kinks. The body is just going to revert back to its old habitual state, which is kinked, knotted up at all those same points that we're going to target today. So let's come out here and I'll show you the first point. So we're going to get into the feet here, the bottom of the foot, the plantar fascia. So this is going to be this whole region of the foot. And all we're going to do, we're going to start off, we're just going to put this ball on the ground. You're just going to start off with these small rolls here. And you basically just want to find the most tender points under the foot. Now, once I find one tender point, because note guys, there's going to be multiple of them in one location. But once I find one, I'm going to focus all my energy on that one point for the time being. I want to just stay there. I want to hold this position here, even if if you need a little bit more pressure. A lot of you probably won't, but if you do, you can even lean on this knee a little bit, bend over like I am here, and just keep that weight on the foot. Now, a lot of this is going to be based on your ability to relax your body. And this is something a lot of people who coach myofascial release don't really tell you enough about, is that you need to really consciously breathe and relax your body. So as I'm doing this, I'm trying to deeply breathe as close to my center as possible and really trying to relax the rest of my body as I go and breathe from this point. So I'm literally originating my inhales and my breath in general from this point, and I'm allowing everything external to that, all the more superficial joints, structures, tissues of my body to relax from there. And you're going to use that through every single point, every single structure that we're going to roll out today. So you want to do that with the foot. Again, like I'm breathing, I'm feeling my center, I'm really just like being aware internally of my body, and I'm just going to allow every single tissue, not just in the foot, but also up the chain of my foot, to essentially unravel and just relax. And this can be a really meditative process. So if you've ever meditated, it's really the same exact concept. We just want to let go of any kind of attachment to any of these external things. And we really just want to bring attention inside of our body and really, especially, laser point our focus into that specific knot that we're trying to iron out. So after about a couple minutes of doing that, and remember guys, the fascia actually really needs at least a couple minutes. It really needs sustained pressure to start to unravel and start to melt and really relax around that ball. So you're gonna take at least 2 minutes to do that, of just that sustained pressure. And then we're going to start to slowly roll. So keep that same pressure, stay in that same pinpointed area, and we're just going to slowly roll back and forth. And then eventually you can get a little bit quicker with it. Still pinpointed, but just quicker rolls. And you can just play around with that. And essentially, we're going to do that through the whole foot. You're just going to play around, see what areas are tight. For me, again, I don't have too much going on, but a lot of you guys may have that outside ball of the foot area right here, the heel, where the heel meets the rest of the foot, the midfoot right here. This inside of the arch, maybe even underneath the big ball of the foot as well. Those are just some common points, but again, don't take my word for it. You really just want to play around with it, roll around, be really aware, just feel what parts of the body, what parts of that foot need to be released. All right, let me show you the next point, guys. So I'm going to wipe my feet like a civilized human here. And we're going to come over here. And as you can see, I have the Tibetan meditation music on, of course, because it's going to allow us to get into that more internal state that I keep talking about, that again, it's so crucial as we're doing this myofascial release, that you're able to get into that state. And that way, it's gonna also just help you be more connected to your body. This is gonna transfer to when you actually go to do movements, athletic things. It's going to make you more connected in your movements, because you're just envisioning that connection as we roll out here. So the next point is your calves. So basically, a lot of you are going to experience a lot of tenderness all throughout the soleus, all throughout the gastrocs, but the main point is definitely going to be where the soleus meets the gastroc right here. You definitely want to get in there. But I would for sure explore these other areas. So the outside of the soleus, I was actually just getting in there. That was still a decent amount tender for me. And then either head of the gastroc as well. So the way that I like to do this is I'll get a table. Typically, I like a table that actually is the same height of my femur. This one is a little bit lower than I would like, but it still works. So I'll hang my heel off of the table. That way it allows me to not get the heel in the way, because you can see my leg isn't, the lower leg, the calf isn't really contacted when my heel is here. So I'll just hang my heel off. I'll put the ball right here, and then I'll just get comfortable. I'll just get that ball in a nice place. I'll get this other leg on top if you need more pressure. And then again, it's just a matter of finding these trigger points, these tender points in the fascia. And once you find one, just chill there. Be patient, guys. This is not something that you do really quickly, that you rush through. Sure, you can do like these maintenance sessions, but really, if you want to get the most out of it, you do this for an hour a day, to be honest. Back when I was going through my journey, I would spend an obscene amount of time doing this, but I just saw that it made such a huge difference that it was worth every second that I put into it. So again, you're gonna see I'm starting to get into these little rolls here after I just had that pinpointed pressure. Again, I'm still staying in this same trigger point area, but I'm just having these small rolls with it now. So this is one of many points, guys. Again, you can move up into this part of the gastroc, this outside head of the gastroc. That should be pretty sensitive for a lot of you as well. Same thing, same concept. You're just rolling and just playing around, just finding those really tender points and just ironing them out. And over time, again, like even within the course of one session of doing this, you'll probably find that the tissue just eventually starts to melt. If you really stay on that area, you really relax your entire body, feel where you're holding tension, and you just let all of that go, and you just breathe calmly from that center point, then you're gonna find that these things just melt away. And then you go and do movement, and that's what's going to solidify everything and what's going to make these changes more permanent, ingrain them in your nervous system, so that again, you become a more efficient mover. Your body just is optimized overall. Your connections are solidified. So that's the calves, guys. The next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna come over here. I don't really like to do this on rugs or carpets. That's why I'm moving over to this hard floor right here. And we're gonna get into the glutes. So there's a lot of different points in the glutes that you can hit. First off, I like to get into the side, right? Or sorry, not the side, but the inside of the glute right here. So a little bit closer to the midline of your body. So I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna sit down. You can lay down too, but sometimes I find that different angles of the torso will influence what kind of tissues I'm able to get into in the glute. But I'm gonna get here first, just sitting upright, and same concept. It's really not that crazy, guys. It's not that complicated. I'm just finding these tender points, and I'm just gonna chill here. Seriously, like you need to spend time in these positions. Just chill here. After you accumulate at least again a couple minutes, just chilling on that point, just feeling everything relax, breathing. Then I'm gonna go and make these little rolls. So that's one point, is that inside of the glute. And then for a lot of you, it's gonna be this area right here that's a little bit lower, a little bit more lateral right here. So I'm gonna roll that out. And then you can also turn a little bit more to the outside and you'll find some other areas that need some releasing. You can you can really keep going to the side right here. This is something I still need to work out. Kind of almost like 45 degrees into the glute here. And then you can go all the way until you're on the side of the glute, really. This is an area that used to be really, really tender for me, but now not too much in here, could still work some stuff out. Yeah. And what you'll notice too is as you go through this, you might at first have an area that is so restricted, so locked up, that it doesn't actually feel painful when you're first on it because it's just so tight and rigid. But then once you, like I said, take a second, relax, calm your body, then you'll find that that tissue will actually start to open up. And that's when the pain will ensue. So with this, guys, you want to chase the pain in a sense. You want to find a pain level that is tolerable. So something that you can remain in for, like I said, a good 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. But you want to make sure it's not excruciating. You want to make sure that it's not like a 10 out of 10 pain, because then it's going to keep those alarm bells in your body going. It's going to keep you in this sympathetic state, and you're not really going to be able to relax properly. So find a level of pressure that is essentially going to allow you to stay in that position for a longer period of time. So one more area on the glute is actually the glute medius right here. So it's this band on the outside back of the glute. You can just, again, put that ball down, lean to the side a little bit, have this leg kind of here like this. And again, same thing, you're just finding those tender points. What you can also do is put your leg up here. You're gonna open up that area so that it makes it a little bit more accessible for the glute med. Yeah, I'm feeling that real hard right now for sure. So again, you're just gonna go on there, then get these little rolls in. And by the way, guys, by all means, this is not an extensive list of all the different points. There's trigger points through the whole entire body, guys. You got to understand that your whole body is really filled with these kinks over time from, again, improper usage of your body, all these injuries that we accumulate. Because when we get injured, the fascia is constricted and knotted up. And we want to, again, iron that out after we've had this acute injury for like it's been maybe years, but you'll still hold on to that tension, hold on to that restriction. And this is what we're trying to iron out. But I can't show you every single point in your body. That's up for you to explore. These are just the ones that I find to be the biggest bang for your buck, especially if you're a really active person and you have an athletic background. So the next and last, or at least maybe second to last point, I'll give you guys one bonus that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it right here. I'm gonna show you the quads. And this one might just be the most painful out of all of them, or it might be the bonus that I give you, but it might be a tie between those two. We're gonna get into the quads. Essentially, you're gonna get into two different areas. These are gonna be the main areas. The inside, you'll definitely find some tender points in your VMO, a lot of you. And again, guys, this depends on your specific imbalances, your specific injury history, things like this. That's why if you want, you can book a call down below and just work with me so that I can show you and direct you to the areas that you need to be rolling out, you need to be releasing for your specific issues. But anyways, rectus femoris, that travels from basically your pelvis all the way down here in the middle of your thigh. And you're also going to want to get the vastus lateralis, this outside portion of the quad right here. So you're just going to get onto the ball, and you're just going to find all these points right here. And again, guys, like if you haven't done this before, this is going to be pretty painful, pretty uncomfortable. But seriously, just go with the pain, just relax through it, just breathe through it, and you're gonna come out better on the other end. You're gonna come out with a more connected body. You're gonna probably, even after just one really thorough session of doing this, you can really get rid of a lot of pain and tightness just literally right away. So you're gonna go, you're just rolling, again, finding those trigger points. I stay on them, and then I get a little roll going. And then same on the outside, you're just gonna turn just a little bit to expose that tissue. And then that one, again, I still need to work on these. These are decently tender for me, not as much as they used to be, but still need to work on them for sure. So that's the quad. And then as a little bonus here, I'm gonna show you the last one, and it's the hamstrings. So the way that I like to get into the hamstrings is by hopping up onto a counter and essentially just draping my leg over it like this, putting the ball under, and then you can just go to town. And the main areas that we want to focus on, again, the whole hamstring really are definitely, there's definitely a lot of areas, a lot of tender points in the whole entire hamstring, but really for sure get this outside piece right here, and then the upper part of the hamstring right kind of in this section where, starting where the glute meets the hamstring, and then maybe like a couple inches underneath that. So we're gonna get into there. We're gonna find those tender points. You gotta like play around with the ball a little bit, reposition yourself, and then boom, I find one that's really tender. I'll just stay there, I'll chill there. And then I'm just gonna relax everything. Relax on top of the ball, really just decrease your body's shock response, basically, because it's really painful. So your body wants to tighten up, and you really just want to tell your body, hey, no, like, this is good for you. I'm doing this on purpose. You just got to let it go. Let that pain, let that tension go. And then from there, after you've done that for a little bit, you found a nice relaxed position. Then what's cool about this one is that you have the ability, because of how I'm on top of this counter, to now do these little knee extensions. And so I'm getting a little stretch in, and you could see my legs start to shake here. I'm getting this full knee extension, making sure the ankle is dorsiflexed as well. Yeah, and that's tough. And then I'm gonna come back, and I'm keeping that same relaxation all throughout. And then you can do the same thing with all those points. I was just on the upper part of my hamstring. Now I can go down a little bit to that outside portion. I'm finding those little things, those little tender points there. Yeah, there's one here. And you'll find, if you've ever had a hamstring strain, tear, or anything, that outside of the hamstring will probably be lit up from this. So again, you want to just go through those points on the hamstring, explore. Don't only take what I said word for word in terms of how you should be feeling and in terms of what points you should be using. Really just take the time to go through your own journey with this. Take everything that I said as guidance, but ultimately it's up to you to really understand what your body needs and the best ways to give it exactly what it needs. So with that said, That's the end of this video, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.